Hey, what's going on, everyone? Back with another video, and I just want to highlight something that it's been at the forefront of my mind for the past couple weeks. I actually planned this video a couple weeks ago, but I've been holding off. But most recent events that have gone on at training camp have made me start to reevaluate, and I think I need to, get this off my chest and discuss it. Y'all need to calm down. All right, Jameson Williams. He's in his first training camp. He injured his ACL last year, obviously a number 12 pick overall, someone who we traded up for, but let's pump the brakes, all right? Some of you guys out there are freaking out, especially in the media, the beat writers. I see it on the Reddit, I see it on YouTube comments. He's gonna be okay, all right? Most recently, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, he had a skirmish in training camp. He fought with Starling Thomas V, who, from everything I've heard, Starling was the one who incited that skirmish at training camp. So, it's all right, man. It's training camp. Tensions are high. People are competing for jobs. It's what it's supposed to be, right? And if there weren't any fights or if there weren't any skirmishes, I'd almost be a little bit worried. Almost worried that we're not worried that the intensity wasn't high enough and that training camp isn't really up to that level that it should be, right? Not with the team that has expectations the way that this team does. Jameson Williams had an interview just the other day where he said, no block, no rock. And we're seeing that show up in camp. He just laid a nasty hit on a defender that sprung Jahmyr Gibbs for an extra 20 yards on a run. The kid's crushing it, right? He had 2 or 3, 4 drops during training camp, but it's practice. It's practice, y'all, all right? That's what it's there for. You're there to drop balls, learn how to run routes, get comfortable with your quarterback. He only had 1 catch, which was a 41-yard touchdown last year, and that's it. He was coming off that ACL. He was learning the system, learning to be comfortable with Jared Goff. So he had that uphill battle that he was fighting with last year. So let's pump the brakes. It's training camp. Let's get him comfortable. And that way in week 7, when he comes back from suspension, homeboy is ready to go. Over the summertime, a lot of people were critical of Jameson. He was lighting off fireworks in Detroit. Come on, really? Lighting off fireworks, man. Like, is that the worst thing that a kid can do? He's 21, 22 years old. I've been there. I was lighting off fireworks this past 4th of July, man. It's no big deal. And he was also in downtown Detroit handing out money to young kids. Man, that's charitable. That shows me that he loves this city. He's happy that he's here. From the moment that he was drafted, everyone has been super critical of him. Everyone looked at him at draft night and said he didn't want to be here. He wasn't happy about being drafted on the Lions. And about 10 minutes later, he was in the crowd taking selfies with all the fans. So it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? So let's pump the brakes a little bit, give this kid some credit, show him some love, and I think good things are going to be coming ahead. CJ Gardner-Johnson just had a press conference the other day where he said Jameson Williams was one of the toughest wide receivers he had ever had to face. He said he's going to be all right. That kid is coming up. He's doing his thing. He's rocking and rolling. So if CJ is saying that kind of thing about Jameson Williams, I'm not concerned. I'll be concerned if we're in week 10, week 11, week 12, and he's dropping 6, 7, 8 balls a game. If he's only dropping a couple balls in practice, we're going to be all right. Okay? It takes time for a wide receiver to develop that chemistry with a quarterback, and especially too with Jared Goff. He has his favorites, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds, guys that he's known for the past couple years. So that rapport, it takes time to develop. It doesn't happen overnight in an NFL system. But, to Jameson's credit, he was in California before training camp started and working out with those wide receivers and working out with Jared Goff. So he's putting in the work. And coming off an ACL, he put in the work to be back on that field at the end of the last season. I think his recovery time was 9 or 10 months, which is just exponential. 10, 12 years ago, that would knock a guy out for a year and a half, if not their career. So the fact that he was able to come back, put in the work, in 9 months' time, I think it's just a testament of his work ethic, how much he loves playing for the Lions, and also his mentality as well. In my last video, I talked about the mentality that Amon-Ra St. Brown had. I think, when it comes to mentality, things like that are infectious. So Jameson might be picking up those pieces, seeing what it's like to be a pro in this league, and, he's putting it all together. It's going to take time, especially for someone who's in his first training camp. So let's get to preseason. Let's see how he fares there. See if he's even taking reps as we play some games. I expect him to, be on the field maybe for first couple series of the preseason games, but beyond that, they're probably going to pull him and save him for the season. So let's pump the brakes a little bit. Give this kid some credit. Give him some time to develop. And man, I think good things are going to be ahead for us.